Well, hello and welcome to a bonus episode of the Confused Breakfast Podcast. If you know what we're all about, you know that we're here to review Top Gun Maverick, the new movie. If you're just stumbling upon us, you should know that we are a movie review podcast. We do mostly movies from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. We talk about what it felt like nostalgically and, you know, like what it is with a modern eye. And we have a lot of fun. And a lot of times we've moved on to these modern movies because they have a close tie to something that we've already done. We have done a full-blown review of the original Top Gun movie.
Go check it out.
And we felt like we should go see Top Gun Maverick together. We got a private screening of the theater with some friends. We went in there, we saw it, and now we're going to spoil the ever-living hell about the new Top Gun Maverick movie, not the old one. If you want to hear about the old one, you got to get out of this episode. You got to go to a different one. But if you're, let's say you're listening and you're about ready to turn it off because you haven't seen it, I'm just going to tell you, go see it in the theater. If you have doubts, just go see it. We're not going to tell you if it's good or not. We're not going to spoil it yet. Go see it. Go take your buds, go to the movie theater and watch it.
Warning, spoilers is going to be ahead.
Yes.
So.
We are going to spoil the shit out of Top Gun Maverick, but before we dive in, we are excited to tell you about a brand new sponsor of the podcast. Media press release, Pepper Joe's is now a sponsor of the Confused Breakfast. If you have taste buds that love spicy stuff, then you're going to want to pay close attention. This amazing company has you covered for all your hot flavored needs. Not only do they have some of the spiciest and tastiest salsas, jerkies, hot sauces, and spices around, but they can also send you the actual hot pepper seeds to grow your own plants. If you don't want to mess around with it, messing around like growing it from scratch and cultivating a seed, they can actually send you the hot pepper plant itself that is like basically ready to roll. They've got ghost pepper, Carolina Reaper, habanero, scorpion, cayenne, jalapeno, and more. From mild to extremely extreme, they have you covered. They hooked us up with a giant box of stuff. We got this ghost pepper barbecue sauce, which, my God. And they've got a little bit milder jalapeno cherry barbecue sauce.
Very tasty.
Very tasty. They've got beef jerkies. We had that habanero beef jerky that they sent us, which we cashed so fast.
Gone.
Oh, yeah. And we've got this new hilarious segment that will take place later in the episode where we give you a hot take about this movie while consuming very hot things. So stay tuned. Because Pepper Joe's is a new sponsor of the show, new customers get 10% off their first order with promo code CONFUSED. Nice. If you're ready to spice up your life, head to pepperjoes.com. Use promo code CONFUSED at checkout for 10% off your first order. pepperjoes.com, link in the show notes and our website. I say we do this.
We are, just to give a little peek behind the curtain, we are drinking Reaper Bloody Mary mix. We're all having Bloody Marys right now, and it is fantastic.
If you keep hearing us like doing this, it's because it's the hottest Bloody Mary mix I've ever had in my life. So, warning, straight up spoilers. We went to Tom Cruise, fucking amazingness, Top Gun Maverick, and we are going to talk about this movie. First off, what did you guys think going into this? Because you knew that I was a giant Top Gun lover. You had only just seen the original.
Right.
As you heard in our review. So, like, were you expecting just this amazing movie, or were you just expecting this is going to be a cool spectacle, cool action movie, and that's it?
I normally go in with a movie like this, with its legacy of people loving Top Gun, and kind of cherishing it for a long time, and the legacy of this sequel being announced. Really, it was supposed to be released 2 years ago.
Weren't they finished filming in like 2019 or something like that?
Pandemic happened. They wanted people to have the theater experience, and oh boy, did it show. I mean, going in again, like I kind of try and keep like a more of a skeptical kind of attitude about these kinds of things. Like even Mortal Kombat, it's like I just want to experience what the movie has to offer. I'm not gonna be like it's gonna be great or I'm not gonna like it at all.
I'm here to watch.
Here to watch, and that's how I went in.
I went in a very similar way. I very specifically tried not to read too much about it going into it. I had already. Sometimes it's impossible. You're going to pick up on things. You know that of the people who are going to be in the movie, and you can make good guesses as to who they're going to play, obviously, and maybe where it's going to go on some regard. So I was able to read small snippets here and there, almost by accident.
Yep.
Especially while we were researching the original Top Gun, it was
Right.
really hard not to run across some things, right? But I said, I'm going in this. I don't want to read too much. I want to know. I don't want to know a lot, and I want it to just wash over me.
Yep.
And I was really excited to do it in a theater, like you guys are talking about. Like, you should see this in a theater. I just wanted it to happen to me in a theater.
I was tempering my expectations. I was just like, it's probably going to be okay. It's probably going to be pretty good. But
Yeah.
I'm just here. I'm glad I'm here with my friends. The intro music happens, the bell song, and we're on an aircraft carrier, and it goes into danger zone. Picture that the best intro of all time in the original Top Gun, but now with better cameras, better angles. I was like, immediately, I'm like, no, fuck this. This is going to be the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I was immediately just like chills all over my body when that happened, that
Yeah.
intro scene.
It's 100%. I was so ready and waiting. I was like, if they don't do it, if they don't break this in, if they don't
have
break
to.
it into Kenny Loggins, please, yes! And that was what happened.
So good.
I mean, it's like basically the intro to the first film,
It's the same.
but like you're saying, it's better cameras and they give you danger zone. It is the perfect way to start this movie off,
Yeah.
especially if you're a fan of the original and have been for a long, long time.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you got me.
Yeah.
Like, let's see what this has to offer now.
Sean was sitting a little ways down from me, and Jeremy was on the like another person on the other side. And I looked down at Sean, and I'm in the very back row of this theater, and I just go,
Yeah.
let's go.
There were multiple moments that I was like physically ready to jump out of my seat, that being one of them.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about more later. But I didn't know anything about this plot either. Like, I purposely tried to I didn't even want to see the trailers. I didn't want to know who was in it. I didn't want to know what the premise was. And so they start off where basically Tom Cruise has been in the Navy since the original, but he just has kind of sucked at. He hasn't shown like, I want to do more. He's just he just wants to be a pilot.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all he wants to do. And I love that angle of it's almost Cobra Kai-ish, where like Tom Cruise is kind of down on his luck.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Lawrence and Ralph Macchio, Iceman, have gone on to these. Iceman is the commander of the Pacific Fleet.
Yeah.
Maverick's just a captain, but he's having a good time. He's essentially working. So they're working on this experimental test airplane, which is essentially the SR-72, I
Right.
guess. Because the SR-71 being the Blackbird, I didn't know that they were actually working on this. It is a real plane that they are working on.
Oh,
The
okay.
SR-72, like the next model of Blackbird, supersonic flight. I read about it. It's supposed to maybe come out in 2025 is what they're thinking this plane will happen. But this movie does a really cool job of this. Like, he's right. That the general was right. He's like, your job's fucking obsolete. We have drones that can fly
Played by
these things.
fucking Ed Harris.
Yes, Ed Harris.
Come
playing it.
on.
But he's right. Like, this jet may come out in 2025 that needs to be piloted when they're like, no, we don't want to fucking hire pilots to fly planes anymore. That was a really cool thing that I didn't think of. But there is a danger of pilots' jobs
Yeah.
for the future. But then this movie plays really well on, no, we still need people to fly these planes.
Right.
Because of this reason.
It was the most intense way to start this movie off, let alone the intro, getting you right into the 80s vibes, or like the vibes of Top Gun, what it has to offer. But then immediately updating it with this new plane, and he's trying to go, what is it, Mach
10.
Mach 10.
Mach
well,
10.
he's supposed to just go Mach 9.
But the
Right.
goal is Mach 10.
the goal is Mach 10.
Trying to reach that, and it is very, very intense. Like the photography they had while doing this. I assume most of that was CGI,
I'm guessing, yeah.
but it still really worked for me, and I was immediately in after this scene. It is very intense and very, very fun to watch.
Yeah. I really enjoy the way they bring it in. I think that Ed Harris is about the only person you could have had replace, was his name, James Tolkien,
Yeah.
who was kind of the
Oh.
cigar smoking,
Yeah.
Striker.
yeah, commander there, and because who the heck is going to be more intimidating? Yeah, Ed Harris.
Ed
is.
Harris. Yep.
He is. And I again, it starts out exactly how it should. Maverick breaking the rules.
Yep.
It's just Maverick breaking the rules. We're grounding the project. Blah blah blah. We want it to go Mach 10. Well, it was only for Mach 9 today. Like, what's the deal? Breaking the rules.
Yeah.
He's like, nope. he's not here yet. Let's fly.
But he's doing it for the rest of the people. Like, it's probably
Right,
half and half.
right.
Like, he does want to do this, but he's also like, if I don't do this, all these people have wasted their time and the job is over and they're all fired.
Right.
But he's like half and half, selfishly because he wants to fly Mach 10.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he has to push it a little further. and it does have good comedic elements in this movie when he, like, apparently crash lands and walks into that diner in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome. He's
Are
like,
you an
"Can I have-
astronaut?
Can I have some water, please?
Where am I?
Earth.
It was, man. It's very good. I love that about it.
And fucking John Hamm. I don't know if they could have picked
Perfect.
a better guy to be that. To where
Oh man.
he's trying. He needs to be the asshole. We need to hate him,
Mm-hmm.
and he does a great job of that. But we're still like, yeah, but he's still right about a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
He's probably right.
What is that line when they meet John Hamm for the first time and Maverick walks in? They're like, he's like, your reputation precedes you, and he goes, thank you. He goes, that wasn't a compliment.
That wasn't a compliment.
Just stone faced.
Yeah.
That wasn't a compliment.
Yep. or when he says, "Well, he won it in '88, the year, like,
Right.
and so a couple of Top Guns." He's like, "Oh, I came in second, so I didn't win it. Just want to manage his expectations."
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, I know, AJ, you're a huge fan of John Hamm, and
Yeah.
I think everybody is pretty much.
I don't think you hate John Hamm.
Seeing
hard.
him in this role is just like, oh, it's not even like, oh, it's John Hamm. It's like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
He is this guy. He's the perfect casting for this. I think, like you said, is just it's kind of the straight face. You need that, and it's cool to see him do that character. You don't really see he's more of a leading man most times.
Oh, for sure.
Correct.
And to see him in this is really, really good.
Yeah, I agree.
I got to say too, the photography is very reminiscent of the original as well, but also like very crisp, and it's got like the sun flares and everything like that. It makes these actors look beautiful, obviously, and as we'll get to, probably the aerial shots are just staggering.
So let's talk about. Oh, you got something else?
No.
Let's talk about like the new cast, because I generally don't like movies that brings in like, ooh, it's the next generation.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, well, no, I like these people.
Yeah.
And you can struggle like that sometimes with a Cobra Kai, where it's like, oh, but it's the younger,
Yeah.
and so I didn't know what to expect. Once I'm realizing what this is, and that there's now a young class that we're gonna get interested. It's like, oh well, but I don't like these guys as
Yeah.
much, and I don't like their call signs as
I know
much.
what you mean.
And-
Yeah.
But I thought they were all really great, especially Miles Teller as Rooster, which is Goose's son, which I'm such an oblivious guy. I'm not the guy that's like trying to pick like, oh, I'm gonna pick. Oh, okay, here's gonna be the twist. Here, I don't. I just sit back and watch the movie. I never once thought that this was gonna be the way they went with this movie.
Okay.
That Goose's son is also a pilot, and Miles Teller like looks just like Anthony Edwards almost
it's
in this
uncanny,
movie.
almost.
And that scene, there's so many scenes that give me goosebumps in this. The scene in the bar,
Yes.
where he's playing Great Balls of Fire, and he's almost wearing the same outfit. He's got the aviators on kind of low, and he's playing and singing. That gave me fucking chills.
Yeah.
Even when they're giving Maverick the briefing of his new class, pretty much, and Miles Teller, Rooster is one of them. He's like, do you have a problem with this? He's like, I have a problem with this.
Yeah.
But you
I
don't
love
know.
that.
I don't think at that point you know that it's Goose's
Right,
son, right?
right.
You're just like, why does he have a problem with it?
Exactly.
Yeah. They allude to things, right? They'll allude to it, and I think I had read again. I unfortunately read like, oh yeah, they're gonna bring back Goose's son.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and I literally thought that to myself. Oh, great, yeah, of course you are. And then, but I like the way that they play it. It's not like nobody knows. It's not like nobody knows that's like Goose's son. It's, well, is there a problem? He sees all of the recruit or all the people coming in for this mission, and he says, "Is there going to be a problem?" Like you said, Sean.
Yeah.
He says, "Yeah, you know what the problem is.
Yeah.
You know exactly what's going on.
Why am I here?"
You know what you're doing right now. Like, I see him on the screen.
Yeah.
You see him on the screen. This is not news to anybody." And I like that they do that rather than it being like, no, there's no problem, sir. We'll get it done.
Right.
It's like, no, I'm glad they didn't take it that way.
Yeah. Speaking about the new cast and the younger cast and everything, I love all of them.
Yeah,
I
they were
loved
great.
all of them so much. The Lewis Pullman, he's in Outer Range.
He plays Bob.
Yes,
That,
just
actually,
Bob.
that was a hilarious name.
Yeah.
It's Bob.
No, what's your call sign? It's just Bob.
It's not my real name. In fact, it's Bob.
Jay Ellis says, what's his call sign again?
Jay Ellis is Payback.
Payback. Yeah, okay. He was in the Everybody Wants Some, the pseudo sequel to Dazed and Confused. I really like him as an actor. He was great as like the Iceman of the bunch, pretty much. You know.
Well, so he was not Iceman. Jay Ellis was Payback. Glenn Powell was Hangman.
Okay,
was
gotcha.
Hangman.
Hangman, that's right.
Glenn
that's
Powell was Hangman, and he was. You got to have that guy. You got to have that Iceman. It was cool to see. Again, I'm not seeing this happen in my head, but then like all of a sudden now we've got a new Maverick and Iceman.
Yeah.
With whole different levels to this. You have to have Hangman in this, and he's there, and he's perfect.
Usually, sorry.
Well, I was gonna say they are that, but they're also kind of the opposite. Hangman,
Yeah.
Hangman is actually like really, really, well, not to use another call name, but fanboying over Maverick.
Yeah.
He is like, yeah, Maverick, like this is the way that we do it. You know, that's the way this is done.
That's true. Yeah.
And you have Rooster, who is like, no, you're gonna get people killed. You're not doing this the right way. Like we don't do it in this fashion. There are ways to do this. Like there is a dangerous side to this. Whereas
Totally
you have
right.
Hangman, who's actually more like Maverick, who doesn't want to play by the rules. Well, so it kind of causes that kind of cool character juxtaposition.
You're totally right. Yeah.
So
It's really cool. I love sequels like this, like legacy sequels as they call them, like the sequels years later, you know, and like why are they doing this? Usually they fail at this point where it's just like we're gonna do the movie over again, but just have younger characters come in
Same
and play
movie.
the same sort of kind of type characters,
yeah.
but they subvert that in the exact way as you just got done describing, and it makes it so much better. It's like, yeah, now you have validated why you have made this movie. It's a whole new story, whole new cast. I get it. I'm on board.
I thought that they were going to. It was like what you said earlier, Mike. Oh, great! We're going to be meeting the new versions of everybody. And when they start walking into the bar, I'm like, great, hooray, Millennial Top Gun. Let's go.
Maverick's not in the movie anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's these guys.
Yeah, I was just like, God damn it, no.
But they quickly get out of that. I did want, if I had one thing that was making me mad though, that I think they missed out on, and maybe you guys can tell me I'm wrong on this, but I wanted more. I have to put everything back to Cobra Kai because Cobra Kai was the first one to do this, in my opinion, to say we're going to take the same actors and the same story legacy-wise, and we're going to do some crazy shit with it. Mm-hmm. And I wanted more cameos. I wanted to see Wolfman, Slider, Viper, Meg Ryan. You didn't have to make Meg Ryan dead. Like, why not put them in there, even in just a small role? I wanted that nostalgia really bad. If they could have somehow perfectly written that in there.
Yeah.
Because, like, Wolfman and Slider could have shown up at Iceman's funeral.
Sure.
Just that, just for one moment.
Yeah.
You could have just seen the cowboy hat.
That's
and you
all we would have
known,
seen.
Right? Like something like that. Yeah.
Because in Cobra Kai was that season 2 or whatever when all the old Cobra Kais get together for that day. That was amazing.
Yeah.
That could have been cool. I do agree. I think it kind of leads me to my only gripe about the movie. The only reason it's not like a 5-star on a Letterboxd for me is because of the Jennifer Connelly character.
Okay.
Playing like we never saw her character in the original film, but she's talked about, and then she shows up as the love interest, and that's really all it is. There's not like it. Whenever we cut back to it, it's fine. I like those two actors. Jennifer Connelly is an amazing actress.
My God.
And if you're gonna get an actress to play this role, get a legendary '80s actress to do it.
Yeah.
And they did it. It's just my only thing with it is it doesn't really need to be there. She doesn't really have anything to do but be like his, oh yeah, I'm gonna give up this life, and that was the only trope of like these legacy sequels to me, and I just wasn't really. It didn't really click with me all that well. I don't know about you guys.
Sure.
Uh-oh.
Boys, it's time for your Pepper Joe's Hot Take.
What do you got, AJ? You hit the hot take button.
I hit the hot take button. I've got my hot take. I'm doing this hot take with our ghost pepper barbecue
I
sauce.
do not envy you,
From
my
Pepper
man.
Joe's. That's a lot.
That's a decent amount. There's a decent amount on here too.
Yeah.
Not faking it.
Here we go.
All right. So let's get some down.
Ooh, he's got it in his mouth.
This may be a double hot take, so I might have to do another one. Oh, okay. There's some fire.
This movie was fire.
This movie was fire. Okay. Heat's happening. Okay. So I think that I don't know if this is a hot take for anybody else necessarily, but I do like Jennifer Connelly more than I like Carrie McGillis.
Oh.
Okay.
So, and I think a lot of the diehards are going to maybe like flip-flop on me or want Kelly.
Kelly.
Kelly or Carrie?
Kelly.
Okay. Kelly McGillis.
You basically think people would have rather if Kelly McGillis come back into
Correct.
the film instead of a new love interest.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I thank you.
We have to help each other out.
It's
Yeah.
hard to
Hot
form
takes.
thoughts while this.
Because it keeps building on this hot sauce. So I think that it was actually really fun to bring her back. She was only mentioned in this in the last one as a previous love interest, the Admiral's daughter that he took up in a plane, I think. And
Penny Benjamin?
Penny Benjamin. And I think it would have been great to be able to bring back Kelly McGillis, but at the same time, I don't think they were going to work anyways. I don't think it would have happened. I don't think it would have continued on. I think she would have gone and taken that job in Washington. And I like that. I like that she's like the bar owner and not invested in this program. You know what I mean? I think it would have been way too easy for it to be like another pilot
Sure.
coming back or something, or whatever it is. And I like that. I also like that there wasn't some sort of major romantic interest then for the younger pilots.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so this is the other thing. I'm glad that the love interest still happened with Tom Cruise and not in the younger pilots. It would have been way too easy for when Rooster comes back around for him and Phoenix.
Phoenix, maybe. Yeah.
To do that. And so I think that was some really good writing. I'm gonna I'll take another hit for that one. So
Another hot take.
I'll do another one for that. I get it.
Oh my God! You don't have to do this.
Damn, dude.
I'm dedicated.
You don't have. I mean, Pepper Joe's. You're going all out. Okay.
And now,
Oh, man.
wait for it.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
And last but not least, let's make it another one.
Oh, my God.
What?
Because I'm going hard.
Is it real hot?
What is happening?
Boys, it's time for your Pepper Joe's hot take.
Sean, I'm confused.
Maverick is better than Top Gun original.
Ooh.
I don't think that's a hot take.
No?
No, I don't think that's a hot take.
I mean, Top Gun's better than Maverick.
Wait, the original's.
Maybe it was a hot take. Maybe it wasn't.
I'll play off the Penny Benjamin thing though. Like she's fantastic in it. I see your point, Sean. I see your point, Sean. We have to pick AJ up here. I see your point that that there's not enough development there, and I agree. But they have really good chemistry, I think, that can help me imply what they've gone through in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Because there's clearly been some history there.
Mm-hmm.
The one scene that I didn't like, I do like that this is almost why with Iceman dying, it's giving Tom Cruise the mental space to finally be like, life is short.
Yeah.
And I need to stop doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's finally figuring that out, and she's the perfect one to go with. But the one scene that I didn't like was the sailing scene. I'm like,
I
I'm
knew
like,
it.
why is this here? Like, why is this a part of the thing? He's like, oh, but I'm good in planes, but I'm not good on ships. and P.S. Do you see how hard they were keeling over, and then they put up the giant Genoa sail, and then they were flat as can be?
Yeah.
Because shut up, you guys. That's the one scene in this movie that I think didn't have to be there.
I
I do agree with your rebuttal, and I do like just the vibe that she has the bar, that she owns the bar.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, and like what they throw them out whenever something happens. Whenever
Yeah, it was.
You can't cover the tab.
that's right. Yeah,
Or no, you can't put your cell phone on the bar or something like
Right.
that.
yeah. I liked there was a shot and we'll get to the more of the emotion in this movie, which is why I do agree with AJ that this is better than the original. There's like a shot from the outside. He gets thrown out, and he's like kind of laughing. And he's like, okay, cool, whatever. And then he sees Rooster playing the piano just like Goose, and you can see on his face it just changes, and Jennifer Connelly looks over and notices that. One of my favorite shots and scenes of the whole movie. It was like, okay, yeah, this is real.
It affected me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, that's gotta be hard.
Yeah.
The scene that destroyed me internally was when he finally meets Iceman again. And we all know that Val Kilmer, if you haven't seen the Val Kilmer documentary, just please go watch it. It's unbelievable.
So good.
It just shows what an incredible person Val Kilmer is. And I love they did not have to write him into this movie. He did not have to be there. But it plays such an important part because they clearly developed a real friendship moving forward in this. And Val Kilmer legitimately is like, I love this guy after we hated each other. And that moment where he's literally, he's like, it's time to let go.
Yeah.
And Maverick's like, I don't know how. And Val Kilmer's just he's acting with just his face in that scene. He's not saying words. He's conveying more emotion than most people can with words in that scene. And like that, I don't know how to let go is just a terrifying thing that I think we all have to put up with at some point in our life.
Right.
And to know that Maverick's been doing this for fucking 30, 40 years, and this is all he knows.
Yeah.
And he knows he has to give it up. But he's like, I can't, man.
This is the point in the movie where I'm like, this is something. This is really they're trying really hard with this movie, and it's paying off in flying colors. And
I see.
His performance, Tom Cruise's performance in this, didn't need to be that good.
No.
Like, he's action star Tom Cruise at this point. Did I say Bruce Willis?
No.
I just said it in my mind, I guess.
Bruce Cruz. It's a cool name.
There we go.
Bruce Cruz.
It didn't need to be that good, and it was, and I was so impressed with how much he just went there for this movie. Obviously gives a shit about this movie.
It's like he cares so much about what the original did for him.
Yeah.
It's that he knew, like, he's like, he's the opposite of everyone in Anchorman 2.
Yeah.
like giving a shit about what this is forever in the ethos. I don't like Tom Cruise as a human being. I don't think many people do. Like, he's got some, maybe half of it's our fault and Hollywood's fault of who he is as a person. I don't know him, but God, my Scientology, like, what the fuck is the matter with you? However, he's the best actor, like, of our generation.
Probably.
Time for hot take number 4, guys. Let's hit the button. No, don't do it.
Tom Cruise is an unbelievable fucking actor.
I think he proves it. Sorry. He proves it in this movie.
I was just going to say that number 1, what was maybe going to be my other hot take was, I can't do another one. I'm sorry.
Hot take. There's no more.
Tom Cruise is hotter in this one than he was in Top Gun original.
Nice.
There's a hot take for you. It's still burning, by the way. It's still very hot. And but my other thing was that I've actually read a bunch about Tom Cruise that he said, like, people who have worked with him, and we have all these things that where he's been like, Tom Cruise is just like borderline crazy, right? Like or the Scientology thing.
The jumping on the couch for Katie Holmes. I would jump on a couch for Katie Holmes, though, too,
point.
so I get it.
But I read this whole spiel about when sorry.
The first and last time we've ever doing a hot take.
Yeah, I know, right? And so, but like Jake Johnson did, what was the movie he did with, I think it was The Mummy.
The Mummy.
And there was one of the things that was like, hey, Tom Cruise went to him and said, hey, I want you to be in really good shape for this movie. I want you to look good. I want you to feel good. And he said, I want you to come work out with me. And so he showed up at the gym to work out with Tom Cruise, and people turned him away. And Tom Cruise came back to him. He's like, hey, what happened to you? I thought you were going to come work out with me. And like, where? He said, well, they said, I couldn't come in. You were in there. So, and he gets really mad.
Oh, shit.
And he's like, listen to me. Let me make this very clear. They don't know what I'm saying to you. So you're a star in this movie too. So you're my co-star. You come in and you work out with me.
Damn.
It's like, you don't let them tell you what to do, and I'll make it abundantly clear.
Awesome.
And stuff like that. That he's like, I think it was like Bill Hader was working with him on a movie, and he said a bomb attack happened in New York, and Bill Hader was trying to get in touch with his family. It was for Tropic Thunder, and in full Les Grossman attire, he says, "We will get you back." Directs all the scenes that would have taken 2 days in half a day, and gets Bill Hader on a plane back to New York.
Wow.
So there's the little things, right, that you do hear about randomly that you're like, maybe he is kind of a cool guy. He's weird as fuck, man.
I understand.
Who
Imagine
knows?
if you're Tom Cruise, like you're gonna be weird as fuck.
Yeah, you're famous
You
at
gotta
such a
be.
young age, and you're the movie star.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, and you.
Yeah.
You know, and to like negate all of that in your head and to just want to make good cinema with good people is very commendable, because it shows in this fucking movie
It really does.
tenfold.
This is Vanilla Sky Tom Cruise for me in this
Yeah.
movie. It's like which I feel is my favorite Tom Cruise role and movie. This is the depth of his character in this movie of like, yeah, and oh no, like there's so much high and low in this. I love him in it.
Yeah, it's really great to see him. I do believe him in this, and I do believe I feel a lot of his genuine, like he feels very genuine in this movie, like you guys are saying.
One jump out of my seat, goddamn moment of many was when he actually completes the training mission. When all of a sudden his plane shows up, and they're like, "What the fuck's this plane going?" And they're all in the classroom just going,
Yeah.
And the aerial camera work of this fucking movie and those F-18s is just mind-blowing to me. It gives me such an unbelievably appreciation for fighter pilots and what these guys are doing, because people were actually flying those planes and doing these stunts that like watching that class in the classroom going, fuck, he's gonna do it, he's gonna fucking do it, and he did it. Like that was a jump out of my seat moment.
And well under time.
Yes.
2 minutes 15 seconds.
I gotta say too, like so John Hamm at this point is like, you're the squad commander, and the mission itself is really fucking exciting. Compared to the original, where we didn't know what was going on.
There's not even a mission.
They're just getting rid of these people. We don't know.
It's like a mission in Star Fox, man.
It is. You're
Fucking
right,
intense.
dude. It's really intense and really fun to watch them try and complete this. Like, I was really invested in the whole last
It's
sort
going to
of...
be hard. There's no way they're going to be able to do it.
It's almost impossible. There's miracle number 1, and there's miracle number 2. It is so exciting. And I love how they subverted my expectations of like, the music comes in when they're doing the mission, and Tom Cruise kind of sacrifices his own plane for roosters.
Which was so cool.
Gets shot down. I'm like, they're gonna do this, and now it's just gonna be the younger generation, and that's it for Maverick. But no, I love how they subverted that.
I thought this whole movie was going to be end. I thought they were going to do it. They were going to evade the missiles, and then this movie was over.
Yeah.
Completely thought that.
Yep.
Nope.
I was talking to...
it almost goes up a whole nother notch from here.
Yeah, it does. Like, wait, we get ground Top Gun?
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, he's running. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Finally, you got his
Behind
running
enemy
there.
lines, Top Gun.
Then when that helicopter comes around the corner, you're just like, no, what the fuck?
I thought that was kind of going to be it. Like, it's funny. I was talking with one of the guys who helped put on that the private screening we got to. His name's Jeff.
Shout out to Jeff.
Shout out to Jeff. And he was helping us, and I was talking to him in the beginning. He's like, yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Like maybe Tom Cruise dies. I was like, what? You're gonna drop
what
this?
the fuck?
What's your
on
problem,
me, Jeff?
Jeff?
What the hell is going? I was like, you think he does? He's like, people are thinking that.
But if he would have, it would have been like, it would have worked.
It would have still worked.
I would have still loved it probably, but you're right. It took on a whole new level on these ground scenes, kind of the behind enemy lines kind of stuff.
People might talk shit. Again, this is how I like to watch movies. I don't want to think about it. I just want to be like, what are they telling me right now? I'm going to bring it into my brain. Never in a million years did I think that Maverick would have Rooster as his seat guy flying an F-14.
Yeah.
I saw it happen and I went, oh, this is fucking awesome.
Dude, I kept thinking, I was talking to Alicia, and I was saying, I was surprised at
You were talking during the movie?
Yes, I was having a full
problem,
conversation. No. What's your problem,
What's
dude?
your problem?
No, we were talking a little bit after the movie, and like I was saying, I was surprised at how much I was actually on edge because I'm like, we're dealing with old characters that we could let go of. Technically, they could end these characters anytime. And we're also dealing with some new characters that we don't have to have an attachment to,
Right?
And they could kill them off at any point too,
You're right?
And it put me on edge a lot because it really made me think like anybody's expendable here at this point, and I didn't know how they were going to take it, and that is another layer of that.
I could have totally seen like Bob get shot down,
Yeah,
and I'd have been very upset.
absolutely.
I loved him. I liked the whole team as we were saying. I do like the F-14, and there's like obviously the stakes just get higher and higher.
Yes.
Like this plane isn't as good as those Russians or whatever the hell they were.
But it has its abilities to make it better. Like the fact that the wings could sweep out to do a short takeoff was so important.
Yeah. Oh God, that's right.
Yeah.
The stakes keep getting raised, and it totally pays off. I do want to say too that his buddy who was with him at the what's the plane called, the stealth plane?
Yeah,
in the
the
beginning.
SR-72, that guy.
His buddy, it comes with him throughout the movie and is like his kind of right-hand man. And before the mission, he's like, "Hey, it's been a pleasure working with you, man." And I'm like, "God damn it. I don't want to see this friendship end either."
They're going to keep me guessing, man.
Yeah.
Like, you really think about it, anyone could go who's going up in that mission, any of them could have gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, any of them could have, and I'm so glad that they didn't. And it's also... I love the homage of that F-14 Tomcat because I think it gave an even better understanding of how technology has changed.
Yeah, and that's kind of what this movie's about.
Jets. I thought that those jets back in 1986
were the coolest fucking thing ever.
were the coolest freaking
They're
thing.
ancient relics at this point.
And that's what I think somebody calls them, like or
Right.
fossils. They keep
Yeah,
fossils around
fossils.
there too. And the technology difference, it's like the way it looked is when Rooster's trying to get the radar back up.
Yeah.
It was kind of it put a lot of perspective
Yes.
on those old planes.
And I mean, F-18s are dope. I do like F-18s, but I'm so drawn into that Tomcat, that F-14 Tomcat from the original. It's just a modern love affair for me of like when I watched that movie. So to see it back in action was incredible. And those fifth generation fighters from the Enemy, which by the way is I still am glad. I didn't like it in the first one, but now I'm glad that they still never said this is a country.
Right.
This is Russia. This is so and so country. They just want this to be ambiguous. The black visor fighters from an unknown enemy.
And there's a target.
Yeah.
There's a target that they're hitting. It's not just other planes,
Yes.
but there is a
Right.
threat of other planes and
on
missiles.
this country's
Right.
ground. So those fifth generation fighters are actually they are Su-57 Russian stealth fighters. Those planes scared the fuck out of me. The move
Yeah.
that one move that he did.
Yeah.
Those are real. That how he all of a sudden like slammed on the brakes and like went into a spin.
Oh yeah, and they're like, "What the hell's he doing?"
Yeah, and just like air braked it and turned around. I mean, the cinematography of this movie was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Dude pulled his e-brake and just flipped it on that dude.
Yeah.
That guy was like Tokyo Drift up in that.
All those fucking like anti-missile squibs was like
Yes.
So legit.
cool.
God, that was so cool.
He pulled the Ryan Gosling in Drive when he's driving backwards trying to evade the guy, spins around, takes him out that way.
Yeah.
So cool.
It was fucking sick. I mean, everything about it. The one thing I did hate was the Lady Gaga song at the end.
Yes, come on.
What fucking song is this? Why does anyone want to hear this song?
You go danger zone and you get the fuck out.
Or take my breath away.
Take my breath away, yeah.
Give me something. That's the only part of the movie that I audio wise was like, that's dumb. I don't like the end. I don't like this.
Yeah.
It was a minor gripe, but yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
In what turned out to be so great. Like even the lost landing gear, like
It was so cool.
just let's add one more point of anxiety on
And that's real. That's straight up real. That's
Yeah.
what would happen.
And they like catch him with like the
the
net.
big old net.
Oh yeah.
That was so cool. That was a really cool thing. But I like that they didn't make it like, hey, landing gear malfunctions happen.
Yeah.
We are prepared for this. It's not.
Then the engine went out too, didn't it?
And then
That's
the engine
right.
goes out. It's like this is like Hot Shots all over again. Lost a wing, doing great. There goes the other one. Bring it home. Call the ball. And so I just love that so much, but they didn't do that. They were like, we're prepared for this. Landing gears out. They had a name for it, for that kind of a landing. But it was so cool to watch them just be like, "Yep, we got you. We're prepared for
We're
you.
good."
Make the landing
And then
happen."
everybody runs out and does the cheering thing at the end. Like that's got to be it's the equivalent of winning a championship. Like what just happened on that? Everyone came together to do this, and it happened, and everyone was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, it was supposed to be impossible. There's 2 miracles that had to be performed in the whole thing, you know.
And that's why I think the ending of this felt more celebratory.
Yeah.
Like worthwhile
Yeah,
celebratory.
I agree.
As opposed to the last one where they went up for a mission
Whatever reason.
after their graduation immediately. Okay.
All right.
No, they had a mission planned. This is the whole point. The whole reason this movie exists is because of this mission.
Yeah.
They pulled it off, and that is worth celebrating. Yeah.
That's all I got,
I mean,
man.
and a couple last things I had was I loved the comedy aspects of this movie too. Like when Maverick and Penny Benjamin are in the room together, and she's like, "You got to sneak out," and he drops down, and the daughter's just standing there looking at him. He's like, I got to go here.
Don't break her heart again.
Yeah, amazing, right? And AJ, I was very happy to note that they at least upped the air conditioning levels inside of the aircraft carrier.
Thank God.
Nobody was sweating
That's
as
great.
much anymore. So
I'm
I thought
so
that was
glad.
pretty cool.
I'm so glad.
Technology's come a long
Yeah.
way in Top Gun Maverick.
Totally
They've
has.
put more fans in the cabins.
So if you had, I mean, we can't hold ourselves to this rating on our normal modern day rating schedule because we've only seen this once, and I plan on seeing this movie at least once more in the theater.
I think I'm going again.
I would love to.
I think I'm going again tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
like I got to go see this again. So, but as a first time view, on a scale of 1 to 10, like what's your rating of this movie, AJ?
Oh man.
Knowing it's probably going to evolve and change over time. I'm talking about right now. How do you feel about this movie?
This is like what you said earlier. It's kind of like what Cobra Kai does to you, where it gives you a proper amount of nostalgia and reminiscence and new, but putting it in today's world, right? And letting now new technology and new trends kind of take over. And I really do enjoy that. So I'm going to be honest with you. The number that is ringing in my head for this, when I was trying to think of a rating, is a 9.5.
Ooh,
Damn.
wow.
I'm serious.
Saunders, what about you, man?
Yeah, with everything we said, man, I think this was a great move on the studio's part to hold off on this movie.
Yeah.
Like, maybe the smartest move of like a release company that anybody could have ever
We all would have
made.
watched it on HBO Max.
We would
have. And
This
we
is-
said that was pretty good.
And
This
it would have been
is-
fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick is the reason why you need to see movies on a big screen with huge sound, with with people, with even your buddy or random people to cheer. It is cinema to a T to me. I think there's spectacle, emotion, great music, great performances, and it was such a treat to see it in the theaters with all you guys. And I fucking loved it. It is a 8.8.
Yeah, yeah. The cinematography, the adrenaline rush. I couldn't go to sleep that night.
I couldn't either.
It was like that mixed with like as I get older and all the fun things I've done in my life, thinking about where Maverick is in his life, and the like. I don't know how to quit. Like someday I'm going to have to quit my band, and someday I'm going to have to quit. This podcast will not go forever. Someday this podcast will have to choose to end. And it's like, how do you choose to end something that is so amazing and a big part of your life? That scene is ringing in me every minute of the day since I watched that movie. I would give this a 10, but I'm going to minus 0.5 for Lady Gaga's song, and I'm going to minus 0.5 for them not putting like Wolfman and Slider and Meg Ryan in it. So
okay.
I'm a fucking 9 right now,
Nice.
and I can't wait to see it again.
Yeah.
Honestly, can't.
Yeah. 100%, bro.
That's got to be one of the highest ratings we've given a movie.
Well, actually, you want to do the math? You said what'd you say? 8.8.
8.8.
And you said 9 point.
9.5.
So we're like a 9.3 or something like that. That would That would take us. Dazed and Confused is a 9.5. Breakfast Club is a 9.26. So that might technically be like our second highest rated movie that we've done.
Wow.
Honestly, guys, yeah, go see it in the theater if you haven't. I know we spoiled the fuck out of it just now, but go see it again. I don't care.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, hopefully we hyped you up. Just go see it again.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. It's why you go to the movies. It's why you grab the popcorn and you buy expensive popcorn, snacks, and drinks, and you go sit in a place with hopefully some friends. That's why you go.
Well, if you're new to the podcast, subscribe. Go check out somebody. If you're
Please.
seeing this on YouTube, get us on the podcast platform. Go listen to our old Top Gun one. If you're a regular listener, we fucking love you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's gonna do it for our bonus episode. What's the next remake movie that's coming out that we're gonna have to do?
No, we missed the anniversary of E.T. I know that, even though it's not a remake or anything.
I'll tell you this. I think they're making it. Might be. I think it's animated, but they are doing a Mario.
Oh, yeah. I think we gotta do the original first. Hey.
Yeah, I think that's it. AJ called it.
Someday.
All right. Well, thanks to Pepper Joe's, all those great sponsors of ours. Go out, check the links, get some hot take sauce yourself, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for listening and watching. Oh my God.
Oh my God, you guys.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. Please stay in touch with us by following on all of our social media platforms at Confused Breakfast on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and Confused Be Fast on Twitter. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast and leave a review on the podcast platform of your choice right now.
Also, we have merch. You know you want to rep the Confused Breakfast in public. Mugs, stickers, shirts, all kinds of goodies. Go to confusedbreakfast.com for a direct link.
And don't forget about our voicemail number, 319-804-9596. Links to everything you could ever need from us are in the show notes or at confusedbreakfast.com. This includes a way to follow all of us individually in our personal projects that we want you to check out. Mission of the day, tell your friends about us. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.